Hey there, welcome to TrackStage. I'm Robina and I am stoked that you've made the choice to take control of the business side of your music career. Over the next few videos, I'm going to help you get up and running with TrackStage. I'll help you set up a simple folder structure that'll connect TrackStage with the audio files in your computer, and it'll help keep you organized too. I'll walk you through setting up your account and installing the TrackSync Helper app on your computer. And lastly, I'll show you the workflow that I use to get my completed tracks ready for prime time, literally. Okay, to get started with TrackStage, first you need to set up a free account. So go on over to mytrackstage.com and then go ahead and click on the Try It Free button. That'll bring you to our sign-up page. You may or may not see this box here that says invite code. If you do see it and you have an invite code, just go ahead and put it in. If you don't see it, never mind, it's not a problem. Enter in your information. Come up with a password that you're sure to forget at some point. If you're anything like me. Okay, we've convinced Google we're not a robot. Let's get started. So now you're going to want to go to your email account, and there'll be a confirmation email coming your way. There we go. Click on the Confirm Me. Log me in, baby. Put in the email you gave us and the password. Click Remember Me if you'd like to avoid doing this every time you come in here. Click Login. Then you're going to get a code sent to your trusty phone. This will only happen the first time you use the browser, and then you will be set to go. We're confirmed, and here we go. Okay, let's get you up and running with TrackStage. The first time you log in, this is the window you're going to see, the TrackSync installation instructions. Let's walk you through the process. Now, the first thing you need to do is you need to set up a folder on your computer that's going to contain all the finished AIFs, MP3s, and waves of your tracks. Now, these aren't your works in progress. These are the final, mixed, mastered, ready to meet the world versions of your tracks. The folder can be on your computer, on Dropbox, or an external hard drive, but it can't be in a shared folder on iCloud. Items in the iCloud folders are references to files, not the actual files themselves, so TrackSync can't read them. So because I have iCloud storing my desktop and documents folder, I have my folder set up on my home directory. I call my folder TrackStage Catalog, but you can call yours whatever you like. Bob, Steve, whatever works. Move your final waves, AIFs, and MP3s into this folder. You can have as little or as much organization in here as you like. I have my tracks set up in folders by name, and then I'll have like a stems folder inside of each of those. But you could have different folders for different genres, markets, etc. It won't make any difference to TrackStage. TrackSync will still be able to find your AIFs, MP3s, and waves no matter what your folder structure is like in here. Now, do not just select your development folder with all your DAW files and works in progress. First, it'll really slow down your system. Second, it's going to make a mess of your catalog with a bunch of tracks that you wouldn't even dream of submitting or releasing as is. And third, it gives you much more chaos to sift through when you're trying to pitch a track under deadline. So, keep your finished, ready-to-go files separate in your TrackStage catalog folder, or your Bob folder, or your Steve folder. You get the picture. Now that we have our folder set up and ready to go, it's time to meet TrackSync. TrackStage is made up of two components that work together to keep your online catalog synced with your projects and tracks on your computer. TrackStage is the online portal where you access your catalog and manage your music. And because it's online, you can do this with any browser on any computer with an internet connection anywhere in the world. TrackSync is the software connector that is installed on your computer where your tracks and your projects live. It's the helper app that keeps TrackStage synced with your tracks and projects. Whatever's in that TrackStage folder that we just set up shows up in your online catalog, and so does any metadata you already have on those AIFs or MP3s. TrackSync lets you add to your catalog just by dragging music into your folder, and it lets you instantly see which tracks have up-to-date metadata and which ones don't. It also does a whole world of other stuff to help you drive your music business forward. So while TrackStage is the world you'll be living in, TrackSync is the muscle behind the scenes. Let's get it set up for you. Okay, I'm going to walk you through installing TrackSync on your computer, as well as connecting the audio files that are in that folder we set up to your online TrackStage account. First things first, though, please turn off any antivirus software that you might have running right now. You can always turn it back on once we finish the installation process. Okay, once you've done that, let's go up to Install TrackSync, and we're going to click on the Download TrackSync button. You should see it start to download in this bar here at the bottom of the screen. If you do not, go ahead and go to Finder, Downloads, and you'll see it right there at the top. But we're going to go ahead and open it from the download bar here. So a single click opens it up, and the installation window opens up. It's going to go ahead and give us a series of instructions. It's really simple. Just proceed as the instructions come up. It's a password. And the installer does its thing. And we wait. It's so fun watching software do its thing. Installation is successful. Okay. We move to trash. We're just moving the installer, not the application. The application's there. Now we're ready to connect your tracks to TrackStage. So step 5 gives us the instructions. What you want to do is you want to go to your applications folder and find TrackSync. And TrackSync. There you are. Double click on that. And TrackSync will start up. Now this is going to take a little bit of time because this is the first time that TrackSync is opening. It has to go through and it has to find all of its little doodahs and gizmos and put it all together and figure out how to configure itself. So it takes just a few moments, and yeah. So if you have any questions as to whether or not it is actually running, you see it bouncing down here. You know it is doing its thing. Just have to be patient with it. Give it a little bit. Because computers. And we're in. Okay, so the next step is to enter in the email that you used to sign up for your TrackStage account. And the password that you hopefully haven't forgotten yet. Log in. Doo-doo. That means we're a go. Okay, and it's time to select our catalog folder. So click on this button. And you're just going to navigate to that home folder, and where is it? TrackStage Catalog. That's the folder that we set up. Open. And now TrackSync's going to do its thing. It's going to log you out of the TrackStage window, and it's going to start to find all of those files and upload them. Now, depending on how many tracks you've got in that folder, this could take quite a while. So if you've got a small little catalog, no problem. But if you've got several hundred, you probably want to go take a break. Go get a coffee. Go shopping. Go write some music. Go do something that doesn't involve just sitting and watching the screen populate more files. Unless you're into that kind of thing, far be it from me. But just so you understand what's happening here, if you go up to the tray up here, you see this little icon. This is the TrackSync icon, and you click on Activity Log. And what's happening here is that TrackSync is going in, it's finding each of those files, it's uploading the file itself, it's uploading all the metadata that's attached to it, and it is uploading any images that are associated with that. So if you've got artwork on your files, that'll be coming up as well. And when I say uploading, it's not actually physically going anywhere. It just means that it's communicating that information, so the information alone is being passed up there. So if you see up here at the top, you'll see metadata that says there's 45, 44. That number is going to go up and down. Those are how many files it's working on, how many images it's working on. It's going to pull all of those in. It's going to count how many there are, and it's going to work its way through that list. So depending on how many files you've got in there, if you've got a lot of images, that might take a little bit more time. Then you'll see over here this caching. This is the last step at the very end. Once we're into the caching phase, you can use your computer without any problems. But before then, this is going to slow down your computer a fair bit because it's going to take a lot of CPU power for this initial setup. Once we're past this initial setup, everything's going to be like that. But it's just this first time getting all of your tracks up is what takes the time. So you can go ahead and close this. It's going to keep on doing its thing. You're going to see down here the tracks are being uploaded. But like I said, this can be a long process, especially if you've got hundreds of tracks. So go on, do something, and we'll touch base as soon as all your files are in. Okay, bye. Okay, I'm going to run you through the workflow that I use to get my tracks into TrackStage and get them ready to be pitched and licensed. First, I'm going to do a little shortcut here that'll help you out too. If you go to your TrackStage folder on your hard drive, right-click it and just do a Make Alias and pull that onto your desktop. It makes life a lot easier when you are bringing your files over. So you'll see I've got my Cubase folder set up here, or an alias to my Cubase folder on an external hard drive. So I'm going to go in here and I'm going to find the song that I'm looking for, this, and I'm looking for Quarantine Masters, exported audio files. You see, okay, I've got my AIFs here. They don't have any metadata on them. They're just finished. They are fully mixed, mastered, produced, ready to go, ready for prime time. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go into my TrackStage folder. A little easier here. I'm going to right click, click new folder, and I'm going to say, okay, we're going to put Quarantine in here. Now I could just drag the whole folder over as is, but just for the sake of my own file keeping, I like to keep these separate. So I'm just going to select all of these, drag them over. And for me, I also like to have my stems in my TrackStage catalog. Again, it's a personal preference. I like to see which of my tracks have the stems already made and which ones I might have to make in a pinch if a call comes in from a music editor. So I'm going to go over and I'm going to bring all of my stems in as well. So copy, just drag. So a little benefit to the way I do things here is that because I have all of my music on an external hard drive, as you can see, I have my TrackStage folder on my computer hard drive, not on an external, and that way I'm kind of making a backup. I know that whenever I want to pitch something, it's going to come direct from my computer versus having to go off onto a separate hard drive. You can have dozens of hard drives, but if you're just bringing all of your tracks onto your computer, they're all going to be centrally located for you to be able to pitch. And that's where I keep my connections to TrackStage, is through my actual computer hard drive versus one of my externals. Now that I've got those in there, I'm going to go over to TrackStage. And I see, okay, wait, TrackSync is offline right now, so I need to turn it on. And as soon as it turns on, now it's going to see that there have been changes to the TrackStage folder, and it's going to start to process those tracks. So you can see all of the tracks coming in. You just have to wait until this process finishes. Okay, so now that I've got my tracks into TrackStage, now I'm going to select my primary track, and then I'm going to link the alternate and stem versions to that primary track. So first things first, we find our primary, and this quarantine.aiff is my primary. So I come over here, I mark that. Now I want to select all of the stems and alternates that go with it. So I can just shift and click. And then I'll go over here to link tracks. Link. Okay. And let TrackStage do its thing. And now you can see all of the tracks are now neatly folded up into the primary version of that track, so I don't have to see all of them every time I open up my TrackStage account. Okay, so now that I've got these linked, I now want to specify which of them are alternates and which of them are stems. So to do that, I just click away. These are the alternates. And then these are the stems. So now that those are all flagged and ready to go, now it's time to go ahead and start to fill out the metadata information on the primary track. So to do that, I double click and just start entering. Next I go into keywords, genre, this is an instrumental. It's an instrumental, so we don't have any lyrics. Credits. Select what roles that they had and what type of contract I had with them, whether it was a work for hire, if it was a right split. Attach any work for hire contract I might have here. If I was sharing a percentage of the song as far as the master or the writing splits are concerned, I'd put them in here. Attach split sheet in here. Lastly, if this song were being represented by a publisher, then I would want to put that information in here. I would want to put in the percentage of the publishing that they had, and if they had any writers split as well. I'd want to put in whether they were exclusive, non-exclusive, or whether it was exclusive but I was still able to pitch it. I would put in when the contract would expire if it wasn't in perpetuity, and I'd go ahead and upload the contract. So that way I have all the information regarding the publishing right here attached to my track. So once I've done all of that, and we've still got all of the stems and the alternates that don't have that information attached to them yet. So this time what I'm going to do to make it easy, I'm just going to do a search for quarantine. That way the entire view is this song and I can just do a select all. Now I'm going to go into fill data. So this is the volume number that I put for this. So I'm going to go ahead and autofill that out. I'm just going to click the lightning bolt. Autofill the track numbers, autofill all of that. Go ahead and click ready to fill data, and it's good to go. And we'll let TrackStage do its thing. Now all of them are orange. Let's take care of the tagging portion. Just shift and click. We're going to come over here to tag files. Double check to make sure these have the information on them that you want to see when the audio files are tagged. Click Ready to Tag. And you're off to the races.